Hello, my friends. I took a trip to Dollar Tree yesterday to pick up a few items to make some meals with. Fortunately, my Dollar Tree does have a refrigerated section. Unfortunately, they were out of bacon and ground sausage and ground beef patties and also deli ham. And we're very limited on cheeses. So I did have to change up my ideas a little bit. Just to let you know, in my videos, I freely use salt and pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder. In this video, I also picked up a small bottle of vegetable oil from Dollar Tree, which I use throughout, but most of it I still have left. I think this bottle of oil is an excellent item to put in your pantry as a staple item at a very affordable price. Thank you so much for clicking on this video today. Let's get started. This is a very quick and easy comfort meal. We will have mashed potato, 4-cheese mashed potatoes with sausage and vegetables. Some of the pantry items that we need are this oil that you can get at Dollar Tree, garlic powder, salt, and pepper. First thing we're going to do is get some water boiling for the potatoes. We'll do everything, the vegetables and the sausage, in one pan, but we'll keep them separated. But one large pan so we don't have so many dishes. I have this pan turned on to medium to high heat. In it, I will be putting 1 tablespoon of oil, and that's to keep everything from not sticking and to flavor the vegetables. Now we're going to put the vegetables in on one side and our sausage in on the other side. If you want to combine them, you can. I do not. Now we're going to put some seasonings onto the vegetables. Salt, pepper, and garlic powder. If you want to, you can add more oil. You can use whatever seasonings you have in your spice cabinet. The sausage and the veggies are done. Now we're going to make the mashed potatoes. I went with the 4-cheese flavor because then you already have good flavor in it and you don't have to buy extra cheese or anything like that. So in this bowl, you're going to be putting 2 cups of boiling water, and then you're going to put in your packet of the potatoes and stir it with a fork. I made a plate here for myself with 1/4 of the sausage, 1/4 of the vegetables, and 1/4 of the potatoes. And here is what I got. Here are the ingredients for this meal. You'll need a box of the Texas toast garlic bread, about half the can of pasta sauce, and then your choice of either a dark chicken or a light chicken can, some mozzarella cheese, and you actually don't need very much of this, maybe about 1/4 of a cup. We're going to be using it to flavor the chicken because, you know, canned chicken, it's not the best. But we're going to give it some flavor. Salt, pepper, garlic powder, and a little bit of oil. Alright, let's get going. In the saucepan, I'm going to add probably about a teaspoon or so of oil. And I'm going to add in our mixture of vegetables from the freezer. This is 1/4 of a cup. And we're going to cook those. And I have a lot of stuff going on in the background, and I apologize if the sounds are too loud from the washer and the dryer. I have also opened all these cans up, and the bread is going to go onto this aluminum foil covered baking sheet. And then I'm going to stir this, and I'm going to shred the cheese. And I'm going to put you on the time lapse while I do that. I I am preheating the oven for 425 degrees. And we're going to put the toast in there for about 5 minutes before we start putting the toppings on. I've been shredding the cheese here. It's been crumbling, really. That's alright. We get the rest of that block done. This garlic bread has been in for about 5 minutes, so I'm going to pull it out, and now we're going to top it. First, I'm going to layer a small amount of sauce. I'm just doing one to show you what I'm doing. And then I'm going to get some of the mixture here and put it on the sauce. Along with a little bit more sauce on top of that. And then the mozzarella cheese. And then just go ahead and do all of them like that. I'm going to be leaving one blank for one of my kids. So we barely touched the inside of this can. I would say we used about 1/4 of it. There is plenty left there if you have some spaghetti that you're having with it. There you go. There's pretty much no cheese left. And if I had wanted to separate all these amongst all 6 of them, it would not have been a problem. Put them in the oven for 5 more minutes. Oh, sorry. There we go. It has been 5 minutes, and our garlic bread pizzas are finished. Here we are. We have this plain one on the side. Just in case one of my kids prefers it plain. They look really good. We're certainly going to enjoy these. These are the items that I picked up today from Dollar Tree. We have some black beans, pinto beans, corned beef hash. I actually wanted the beef patties, but they didn't have any. Some of the jasmine rice. If you don't know, they have this small package of jasmine rice, which is a little bit different flavor than standard rice. We have the tortillas, a package of cheddar cheese, Rocana Rotel, and white nacho cheese sauce. I also I saw that they did have chili powder seasoning there, but I have a lot of it in bulk, so I could not see spending $1 to get chili powder when I have so much, but you can absolutely get chili powder there. I forgot about this item. It was in my freezer and I forgot about it, but we're going to be using this as well. About half of the bag in each of our recipes today. We're doing 2. All right, let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is sort and rinse the beans and get them on the stovetop to boil. Here we have both of our beans in our pots. Now I'm going to bring them to a boil, and then I will turn the heat off and let them sit on the stovetop with no heat for an hour and a half with the lid on. Well, the beans are done. We're going to drain these, and then we're going to put them back in these pots and put some water on, some clean water on top of them. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and season the beans. Sometimes I don't season them, but I think I would like to today, so I'm adding some salt, and I'll add some garlic powder and onion powder. Maybe a little pepper too. And I'm going to turn these beans back on. I will bring them to a boil, and then instead of shutting off the heat, I will keep the heat so that these continue simmering for an hour and a half. In this saucepan, I'm going to put just a small amount of oil. This is to cook the frozen vegetables. So now we're going to put in about half of the bag of this seasoned blend. All right, so now we are going to be stirring this and cooking these vegetables up in the oil for about 5 minutes. All right, so I just opened up this can of corned beef hash. Before I put it into the chili, I'm going to cook it in a pan. All right, the corned beef hash is cooked up. The flavor is really good now that it's been toasted in the pan. I have moved the vegetables to a larger pan, and I'm going to move the corned beef hash over, and then we're going to add in the spices and the beans. All right, so I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of chili powder, 1.5 cups of the black beans. Giving that a stir. The corned beef hash. Oh, I don't even have the heat on my burner. Now we're going to need to put in about a teaspoon of garlic powder and also a teaspoon of salt, and we may add more of any of these as we go along. I'm also going to put some of the pinto beans in here in just a moment. One and a half cups of the pinto beans as well. Gentle stir. We're going to be adding in 2 soup ladles of the bean juices, and I've actually already dumped the bean juices from the black beans, so this is bean juices from the pinto beans. Without the tomato paste that is usually in chili, I think we need the extra starch from the bean juices versus water to thicken it up some. I'm going to be adding in a very small amount of these tomatoes just to give it some tomato flavor from the Rotel can. Careful though, because it'll add some spice too, but just so we get some of the tomato flavor. I was just two of those tablespoons. I'm adding in a little bit more garlic powder. It looks pretty good. So I'm going to let that simmer for a little while. While that's simmering, we'll get what we need to get done for the burritos done, and we'll also get the rice cooking. There is 2.5 cups of rice in that rice package, so I'll be cooking that along with 5 cups of water. I'm going to put in some salt, and then I'm going to cover it and bring it to a boil. After it comes to a boil, I'll shut the heat to low and let it cook for 20 minutes. In this pan, I have put about 2 tablespoons of oil. Now I'm going to put the rest of what's left in the seasoning blend. It's a little less than half. I put a little more than half in the chili. And I'm looking for my spoon. I will go get my spoon. I'm going to give that a stir, and then I'm going to put in the Rotel And then we'll put in some black beans and some seasonings. And this is going to be part of our mixture that goes into the burritos. All right, I'm going to be using this immersion blender to break down these beans, and I will also be adding some seasonings to taste. These vegetables I think are pretty good. At this point, I'm going to be adding in 1 scoop of the black beans, 1 ladle. I would say this is probably about a cup of the black beans. And then we're going to add some chili powder to this. 1 tablespoon. Yeah, I only have a little tiny bit in my bowl left. You'll have the whole shaker, so you can use as much as you want. But I think that this is enough. I think 1 tablespoon will be plenty to season this. And now we're going to add in some of the Rotel. I'm trying to not get too much of the juices in. I'm not sure if we need the whole can. So let's start with that. I'm turning the heat up just a little bit. All right, I think I'm going to be putting another scoop of black beans in here and the rest of the Rotel. And that will bring it to 2 cups of black beans and whatever's left in that Rotel can, minus what we put into the chili. Rotel minus the juices. This is already plenty juicy enough. We're gonna have to let it cook down a little bit. Now I'm gonna let this simmer for a little bit. I would say probably about 15 minutes. And at that point, I will taste for seasoning. In fact, garlic powder and salt in here already. In our burritos, we will have this flavor mixture, some rice, the refried beans that I just immersion blended, and cheese. And that will be the burritos. Time to just let that sit for a bit. I just wanted to show you all, this is what I have left in the untouched pinto beans and black beans. I would say that's kind of like saying we got a savings of $2.50 because this is definitely a can of each. And that noise is my microwave. I have shredded the cheese and I'm pouring the can of the sauce into a measuring cup. You don't have to put a measuring cup. I'm just going to warm it up in the microwave for a little bit. I'm going to warm up all the tortillas in this tortilla warmer. Whoops, I just ripped a little bit of the tortilla. 1 minute should work. I'm going to move this mixture into this bowl so the burner is free for the sealing of the burritos. Okay, so we have a tortilla, and first we will take some of the bean mixture, and it's not a mixture. We will take some of the refried beans and put them in the center, and then we will take some of our bean mixture with the Rotel and the seasoning, and that goes next. And then we will take a scoop of the cheese sauce, and that goes there. And last but not least, we will take a scoop of the rice, very small amount. We don't want it to overpower all our work that we did on the beans, like so. I'm just going to put a little tiny bit more cheese. I technically want to put the cheese on the very top, so we'll do another one in the correct order. Over here, I have a pan that is heating up with some oil, and we are going to seal the burritos in this pan. right, so as you can see over there, I put the burrito into the pan, and now we're going to crisp it up. I think that helps a little bit. The tortillas, if you've seen my videos, you know that I normally hand make the tortillas, and they taste a lot different than when you get them at Dollar Tree. So I'm trying to add a little bit of good flavor to them. You know, you can totally, absolutely make your own tortillas using Dollar Tree ingredients. I learned that yesterday because they have flour. So basically that's the main ingredient. All right, there's our 4 layers. Burning this burrito. Okay, just ignore that. It's burnt. I'll eat that one. All right, so wrap, tuck in the sides. I'm gonna tuck it all in. For some reason it doesn't want to. And put it in the pan. Let it seal up. Yeah, that one needs to come out. I'm just gonna move it right here, and we'll get that one finished up. The thing was, is I was trying to warm the pan up really fast for the video, which I shouldn't have done. Okay, so now my pan is at medium. All right, that one's not that bad. It looks worse than it is, I promise. But the other ones won't be quite as crispy. So I'm going to time lapse them, and then we will wrap them up. And I think then that will be it. I'm done filling the burritos, and we have some of everything left over. So I'm going to combine it and put it in a casserole. We'll put it in a dish to be like a casserole inside the oven, because I'm not wasting it. That would not be cool. All right, so some of this rice, of course, we are saving to serve with our chili, and I think that's probably a good amount to put into our dish here. Give it a stir. I'm going to put some of the cheese sauce into it, and then the rest of it I'll put on top of it. You know, I'm thinking if you have some breadcrumbs, that'd be pretty tasty on there. I don't know. I would say this is probably a 2-person dish. So this gives us 2 more servings of food. And now I'm gonna just toss the rest of that nacho cheese sauce on top of it. I'm gonna let that bake in the oven, 350 degrees, for about 20 to 30 minutes. Okay, let's get that into the oven. I'm wrapping up some of these burritos into some aluminum foil, the ones I know that we won't be eating tonight. Alrighty, this is what we have. So we have our chili with rice, and we're topping that with some cheese. And then that's the casserole of everything that was left put in there. And I would say that is 2 to 3 servings. And then we have 12 burritos, which I would say would make, if you had just the burritos without the chili, it would be 2 burritos and that'd be a meal. When all is said and done, in all of the meals in this video, all 3 segments, I feel that it makes 14 to 19 individual full meals. What I'm saying is, I know that like the first meal with the sausage, potato, and vegetable, I divided that into 4s, but as a full meal, it could only be divided in half, for sure. It could only make 2 meals to fill a person. But that being said, all of these video segments will make a total of 14 to 19 meals. So if I take the price point of that to the money I spent, that means it would be $1.06 to $1.43 per meal, which is pretty good. Plus I had that extra container of black beans and the extra container of pinto beans I can just use in another meal, which is fantastic. I think it was worth the effort, and I highly encourage you to come up with your own combination of meals with Dollar Tree items. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.